What's up? This is Ellis is Happy on YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about hearing versus listening. If you've ever been told that you don't know how to listen or you're not listening to me, I get that sometimes too. This is very much something that I'm trying to implement in my life to help myself be a better listener to other people. Listening is less about what you're doing with your ears and more about what you're doing with your body, more about what you're doing with your eyes, and more about what you're doing with your mouth. Just because you're listening and you're hearing and you're taking everything in of what someone's saying, you're not necessarily making them feel heard. And that's what people are saying when they say that, oh, you don't listen to me, or you never listen, and all these things that you might be getting told. Listening is very, very important because when you get that skill down, it makes people want to tell you more information, therefore helps the relationship get better and better as the years and years goes on. Especially if you want to keep this person in your life, and especially if this is a person that you love. In terms of an introduction, that's pretty much what I have for that, so let's jump straight into the steps. Step 1. Eye contact. Now, you have to find a happy medium because it shouldn't be like this and glaring at them, and it shouldn't be, looking at the floor, not even looking at them. Try to come from a place of softness, of receptiveness, and just in general calm energy. Don't forget to blink. It might help you not come off as so intimidating if you're glaring at them. Just very soft, just like this. Similar into what I've said in the How to Be the Life of the Party video, making eye contact with someone, especially when they're venting to you or when they're telling you very important information, it makes them feel like you're interested in them, it makes them feel like you're listening to them, and it makes them feel like you're being receptive of whatever they're talking and telling you things about. Step 2. Affirmative body language. So first let's start with the body language part first. From your neck down all the way to your toes, make sure everything is facing them. Everything. Your shoulders, your chest, your stomach, your feet, your legs. Everything is facing them. If you've ever felt like someone is not listening to you, take note of what their body language is. These are very subtle things that go off, that are triggers in your mind, whether it be their intention or not, that it indicates that they're not listening. If they're turned to the side like this, or especially if they're not looking at you. So make sure your body is fully towards them in a very receptive position. None of this stuff, none of this stuff, none of this stuff, this stuff, this stuff, none of anything that might portray your body as closed off. So all of this, just drop it. When I say affirmative body language, it means to mirror or affirm whatever the person is telling you in whatever context it is. So for example, if someone is telling me some sad stuff, I'm not going to be over here smiling. If someone's telling me sad stuff, I'm going to be like, match the context and the tone of what they're saying on your face, still very much body language. So another example is if they're very angry and very upset at something, again, you're not going to be like, you're going to be like, mirror them and use affirmative body language to allow them to be more comfortable in telling you all this information. Step 3. Verbal cueing and verbal reactions. Again, listening is more about what you're doing instead of what you're necessarily hearing. So, when they're telling you happy things, just be affirmative in your body language and affirmative of your verbal cues and your verbal reactions. So they tell you, hey, I just got a job, or hey, I did something miraculous today, or I don't know, whatever positive thing it is, just be like, wow, that's great. If they're angry, just be like, man, there's this guy at work that is just pissing me off. He's like, damn, that sucks, tell me more about it. So use the verbal cueing in this way, and what I mean by that is just mirror what they're saying and kind of use a verbal cue in which you agree with them so they can divulge more information to you. Those are the official steps, but here are some general notes that will assist you in implementing these steps as well. Let them finish and don't interrupt. The minute you put your 2 cents in, it takes away everything from what they're saying to you. Going off that, don't necessarily be obliged or obligated to give advice, because the worst type of advice is the advice that was never asked for in the first place. A lot of people, when they're venting or when they're just trying to tell you general news about their life, that are not necessarily looking for advice. They're looking for someone to make them feel heard. They're looking for someone to listen to them. That's basically it for today. This is Ellis is Happy on YouTube. Use this to become a better listener and stop hearing that you don't know how to listen. Because like I've said, listening is not necessarily about being able to capture everything they've said. It's more about how you make them feel heard. Special shout out to my friend Guillermo, aka Little Nasty. Don't know why his nickname is like that, but he told me to say it like that. Anyway, hope this helps my friend, and yeah.